The children of turkeys make a cheep, cheep noise. They make that noise because that's the cue for Mama Turkey to take care of them, feed them, and tell them bedtime stories about how bad the Jewish turkeys are, and how they are blessed to be the turkeys. When the infants do not, in fact, make this cheep, cheep noise, the Mama Turkeys, of course, take the most reasonable course of action and fucking murder them in cold blood. That's not the interesting bit, though. The interesting bit is that when human scientists made a figurine out of the turkey's mortal enemy, and no, I'm not talking about the Jews or the Greeks this time, I'm talking about polecats. The turkey would at first viciously attack the stuffed toy. But as soon as the clever human scientist would play the cheep, cheep noise from a recorder hidden inside the polecat, the turkey would not only not attack the polecat, but give it shelter and nurture it as one of its own. Now, it may seem like the turkey is cruel for killing one of its children because it was born disabled, or that the turkey is retarded for letting an obvious polecat into its nest. I mean, that's as if Hitler showed up to a Jewish home, said shalom, and asked to join in the family dinner. You don't just let the fucking Führer into your house. Unless you're living in Germany through 1939 to 45. Then you do have a great haste. Anyway, the turkey is neither cruel nor dumb, however much it may seem to us that that is in fact the case. The turkey is just programmed to react positively to the cheep, cheep sound, and it serves it well 99% of the time. As for the 1%, well, we can't really be lecturing other species about systems that cause collateral damage. Humans, of course, are not like turkeys. Much more violent, far more degenerate, and self-destructive. All that, however, is because we are smarter than turkeys. This automatic response shit that these low-level turkeys experience has no relevance to us, obviously. We are the superior species. We would never do dumb shit like that. Right? Well, fear is one of the primordial emotions of human beings. We are hardwired for fear, and one of the greatest fears we have is being wrong about something we believe in wholeheartedly. So whenever we hear someone say something that threatens our beliefs, we hear that cheep, cheep noise. Except it doesn't elicit maternal love from us. It induces fear. I don't mean to get all psychological on you, but when you feel afraid, you get angry. Not particularly angry at anything, but you just get angry to feel like you're in control because these are your beliefs. Of course, you have to defend them like you're in the third fucking crusade. Now, my dear disciple, this might shock you. But even though the turkey isn't a fucking disappointment for reacting in hardwired responses, you definitely are. And also, just generally, you could have consciously thought about this and figured, hey, I'm being a fucking idiot. Maybe I should not. But you didn't. Instead, you went off on the poor bastard who said that ice cream should be 10 rupees a pop. And you clearly established that it should be 20. Now, as a left-right chicken wing centrist asshole, I believe that we can have discussions without feeling threatened by it. I know. Very revolutionary. It is okay to care about your beliefs, but don't make it your entire fucking identity to the point where you're ready to funky town anyone disagrees with you, you big fucking baby. I'm not saying you have to be a humanitarian and have your heart ache for the divided mankind. I have just been informed that the word mankind is officially sexist and no longer what the cool woke kids use. So, humankind. Yeah. Your heart doesn't have to ache for the divided. The turkey can't ignore the cheep, cheep noise. No one can blame it for that, but you can. You're better than a brain-dead bird. The Last of Us is a franchise many people are absolutely in love with. So much so that I would buy literal dog shit if it came in a Last of Us merch box. So you can imagine the excitement when a sequel was announced. It was joy, elation, pure bliss for a community that is practically a cult built around worshipping a video game. And the first trailers came out, and it was finally revealed that Ellie was gay. And this made the internet lose its shit. I mean, Ellie's proclivity to pussies made the internet so angry, in fact, that you would think that the internet was full of raging closet homosexuals. Had the trope not been debunked already. You kind of see why everyone was angry. Been a trend of people adding quote-unquote woke shit to beloved franchises and Thanos snapping them down the fucking toilet. But The Last of Us 2 was different. It was an extremely innovative and creative game that took risks and broke away from the dog shit game formula that we all hate now. So when it did come out, were the basement-dwelling gamers finally happy that the Lord had delivered them from their suffering and given them what they had been pleading for so long? Was the game showered with praise and set as a standard that all single-player experiences were to be judged upon? Well, nothing can really change the basement-dwelling gamer's state of emotion except for a showerhead, and no, it was not showered with praise, but it was review bombed instead, resulting in a 3.4 out of 10 when it was released. On release, same thing. Now, that's not because the gamers heard that Ellie was gay and because they are collectively homophobic, decided that enough was enough. No, it was because when they heard the news, they heard that cheap noise in the back of their heads and they just couldn't resist. As a result, executives who were already not inclined to give creative ideas a go are even less inclined to do so, leading to gaming studios churning out even more of this garbage that you, by the way, fully deserve. Think on that for me. Until next time, this has been the Furry Exterminator. Have a good evening.
Vodka, Cold War. This is Russian hardcore. Vodka, Cold War.